Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions. Today I'm Bancroft and being joined by Trevor.
Hello.
And Trevor has brought Bojack to us finally. Like I said last week when we did our all of our games and whatnot, I was like we didn't get a chance to kind of profile because of how long our game went. But you know what? We got it today, so here we go. Trevor, take it away.
Alrighty. Well, like Bancroft said, today we have Bojack. He's a leader that I've kind of been toying around with. Last week I tried something. I've not completely changed it, but changed it quite a bit. He's really awesome because he basically makes all of your Bojack Brigade cards free combos, which effectively means you get a free 10k 4 times in the deck. But we'll go over that once we get there. That's just what this permanent does. And prevents them from being used in other decks. Activate battle. Once per turn, you may use one Bojack Brigade card in your energy in a combo. If you do, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. Activate battle means you can do it on your turn or their turn. It allows you to cheat out bigger bodies than you probably should. Awaken. It's pretty unique in the sense that when your life is at 3 or less, or you have a Unison card with a specified cost of 4 blue, you may draw 2 cards, switch one of your energy to active mode, and flip this card over. This Awaken does not require you to take your life down to 3 when you do that, so if you're still at 8 life somehow on turn 4 when you play the Unison, you just keep all 8 life. On the Awaken side, keeps that permanent, reduce the cost of comboing Bojack's Brigade cards, auto once per turn. When your opponent swings at you, you can pay 1, untap 4 blue, and then you can not use counter skills. So no D-Magic, no Hatch, no Trunks Heroic Prospect after you use this effect. You're basically using this effect to use the effect on your combo cards to try and shut down your opponent that way instead. Activate battle once per turn. You can use 1 mono blue card in energy in a combo. Top of your deck, place in rest mode when you do so. I'm going to go at this a little bit differently than usual. I'm going to start with the Xeno super combo. I run 4 of these. I've seen some people run 3 of them and 1 Vegeta, 2 split. I just find having this at 4 of is just so good. Whenever you're accidentally placing Hatch or Super Pycon from your deck off the leader, activate battle to be able to consistently pick it back up is just hugely important. Or a few other key cards that you run in the deck, like your Unison, you want to be able to pick back up since you can't combo with those cards. The auto, the only downside to it is you have to play it to draw a card, so sometimes it's hard to do that. I typically just avoid that altogether because I want to make sure I get off the 5 or less life swap energy. I run 4 Bean. This deck, as being a combo deck and playing cards via combo, having that extra energy available to play them after you finish the combo is super huge in this deck to super control your opponent. It just allows you to do that. It also, when you're unawakened, helps keep you alive on your opponent's turn when they're swinging at you with 15 and 20k bodies while you're still sitting at 10. I run 2 Trunks Heroic Prospect right now. By the time you can use him effectively, it's you won't need more than 2. It's just such a good card at slowly dwindling your opponent for you to out-combo them while they're losing their cards near the end of the game. I'm only running 1 Boujack right now. His ability to use from your energy is so costly, is that I'm kind of just running him as a, oh, he's out of D-Magics, he's already used, his other counterattacks, and this guy just sits in your energy all game, and then you can get like one last surprise counterattack off with him. That's why I'm only running 1 of. Right now, 3-dimension magics could probably go up to 4 and drop another card down. But right now, that just feels kind of a good spot to be. Which brings us into the 1-drop, tap 1, activate battles cards. We have Beto the Cruel. This is basically your Unison killer, as I like to call him, because you play him, you draw a card, but more importantly, when you swing, if they don't counter, you can then activate battle, give him 11k through to the next turn, and double strike, dealing 2 to their Unison. That's pretty much what I use him for exclusively. It's just so good. Unlike the Self-Awakeners where you have to take a life, he's just tap 1. Goku of the Calamity, this is your Unison Searcher mostly. But the tap 1 crit and 11k early on in the game can be really useful as well if you somehow aren't hitting this. This brings us into Beto the Evildoer, Goku of the Evildoer. These are what you're mostly going to be using to remove your opponent's cards. He only works on 1-drops, so that's why I'm only running 2 of this. But just like the Beto 1-drop, he's really good at swinging at unisons. A 20k single that you play for 1 energy is really pretty pristine to have out on board, just to slowly wear down their unison. Get their counters down to 1 so that they can't use certain things on their turn, or on your turn comes in handy. This guy's does mad work. Crit, 15k, when you combo with him from your hand or energy at the end of the battle, you can tap 1 and he comes out. If it's your opponent's turn when he's played, you even restand that energy. So he basically is free on your opponent's turn to play a 15k body that has crit, and his activate main once per turn, tap 1, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with each cost of 3 or less, and place it back at the bottom of their deck. No back to hand in this. This card's honestly probably my favorite card in the entire deck. Galactic Buster, once we got clarification, went from a 2 of to a straight up 4 of, and if I could somehow play more than 4, I would in this deck. Basically, you use this during your combo phase. You then can combo with a card from your energy. You draw a card. This goes into your energy in active mode. Battle ends. This is still active. End of battle, you decide what order things take place. So then if this is your last standing energy, you can tap it, play one of these, for example, and then it says rest an additional energy at the end, but you don't have any additional energy to rest. So you typically want to use this at the end of what you expect to be the end of your opponent's turn when you do this. It's just super solid. So much value off of it. For free, you can play any card. And what's interesting is if you do this on your opponent's turn, you resolve the effects how you want. So you can tap this to play him. You have no energy left. Then you're like, oh, I'm out. This auto says you can restand energy when you play him on your opponent's turn. So this can restand again. So you play him for free in those situations. It's so solid. I love, 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 love these two. Zangia the Evildoer. This is basically, since your leader lacks draw on swing, this is the way you're drawing in this deck. Pretty much makes you run 4 of this. When you combo with this card, you draw a card. So it's a 5k super combo in that sense. It's just great. I find myself usually charging this and using it off my leader's activate battle. Occasionally I'll keep it in my hand if I would rather play one of these on my opponent's turn. Only issue is when you use these in your energy, they're kind of expecting them to come out, whereas if they see this, they're like, oh, he's just going to draw a card, it's whatever. Bojack the Evildoer. This card has not been great at our locals because we play a lot of wide, low-cost boards, but this card's going to be great against those people that go tall. Because you play this after the combo phase, you choose an opponent's card greater than their energy, it can't swing, and it cannot be used in a combo. This is also useful if your opponent uses Vegeta the Lone Prince, for example, like a lot of our people do at our locals, so that they play it, you have to drop a card, but then you prevent them from getting the 10k because they can't combo with it, and then you can get rid of it with Goku or Beto, so on and so forth. On top of that, it's a blocker as well, so you basically shut down effectively 2 attacks via the blocker and stopping an opponent's higher cost swing. Brings us to the next combo with this card, play this card. Bojack the Evildoer, aka Vegeta getting punched in the face. He has dual attack, as many seem to forget. He also chooses an opponent's turn when he comes into play from a combo at the end of the battle. Chooses an opponent's card. You place it at the bottom of their deck. Doesn't matter what energy cost it is, but it does not ignore barrier. So you just gotta make sure that if when you use it, that they don't have a Murray Chim sitting on board, and you just go, oh, I guess he just stays there. The last combo play this card, of course, is what is supposed to be the boss card in the deck, Bojack on a Rampage. Auto, when you combo with this card, tap 4, choose up to one of your opponent's battle card, or draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck, and play this card from your drop area in rest mode. That part is what keeps this from being useful on your opponent's turn, in my opinion, unless you're trying to remove a very specific large body card that might be going for a win. Because at that point, they're probably tapped out. If they're not tapped out and they have more swings, they're probably going to swing into this or play something to get rid of it because it does not have barrier. However, when this card is in rest mode, when your opponent attacks with the battle card, switch up to one of your blue energy to active mode, and switch one of your opponent's energy to rest mode. So he has a lot of text on him. He's really useful, but his use cases, I feel, are so niche that it's kind of hard to really decide when you want to play him. I find using his EX Evolve is more reliable just for getting the draw 2 cards. And then swinging on your turn so that when it's your opponent's turn, they have to get rid of him before they start swinging, because you'll have that auto once per turn down there at the bottom. He has double strike, dual attack, 30k, so he can still kill your opponent. It's just, you got to really pay attention to what's going on to make optimal use of him. So all of these are your combo, at end of combo play this card cards. They all have a lot of use purely through your leader, and honestly I think they're extremely low cost for what all of them do. Which brings us to what would be the Unison Package. We have 3 Majin Buu, Agent of Destruction. Does mad work. Activate main, draw 1 at the end of the turn, untap 1. It has blocker, double strike, so you swing with it, and then activate main so that you, at the end of the turn he restands himself, so you still have blocker live. But more importantly, this auto -1, when your opponent attacks with a battle card, you may choose a battle card and place it at the bottom of their deck. They have to play around it. They have to try and fish it out, because if they don't, they're going to lose their boss monster. So they're going to have to play suboptimally to make sure that their play actually goes off. Comes in really handy. Because I run 3 of these, of course I'm going to run at least 3 of the God-Sealing Techniques, because when they're trying to play some cards around this card, you basically make them spend their energy to do it. Just a solid, super solid card. Does a lot more work than what people think it does. Presently, I'm running the Hatch SCR, mostly because it's what I own, and I don't own the PyCon, nor have I tested the PyCon. I think the PyCon has a lot of value in this deck in particular, but I haven't had a chance to try it. This, of course, is just a blue, consistent, solid secret rare. Shut down an opponent's turn. Make sure you awaken when you want to awaken. Occasionally you'll use it on turn 3, but you're going to control your opponent through your combo, play this cards as much as you can anyway, so that you might not need to, and you can save this for turn 4 or 5. And just try and kill them via your Unison and your Bojack on a Rampage card.
Yep, and you know, if you're Bancroft, just remember that counter, still get rid of it. All right. But yeah, that is Bojack. Thank you, Trevor. Last words.
Just let me know what you guys think, and of course I will continue playing blue and try and be the go-to blue guy on the channel. Yeah, just keep watching Attack on Productions, click like, subscribe, and do all those other things like sharing somehow.
There we go. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in like always. Read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.